Hey, what up, everyone? Today I'm going to talk about a topic that has hit me close to home, and I'm sure many of you as well, and that is our Fiat food system. And now I haven't read the book yet. It's by Matthew Lysiak. Actually, I met him in person at the Bitcoin meetup here in Phoenix, and he was great. He really knows what he's talking about when it comes to our Fiat food system, and it's kind of like a spin-off of Seyfedin Ammus's Bitcoin Standard, Fiat Money, and Principles of Economics books. In fact, I think he wrote like a foreword, or he was mentioned in it. Point is, food deserts and Fiat food is all around us. Now, in many of the inner cities around the country, all you can find is a 7-Eleven or just like the local convenience store alongside maybe, an Arby's, a McDonald's, a Dunkin' Donuts. And there's, at many of these places, there's no like bananas, there's no oranges. It's usually just processed, prepackaged food. And it's all around those areas. And those areas tend to be very heavily populated. And oftentimes they tend to be areas that are more poor. Now, what's crazy about that, if you really look at it through this lens, is okay, so these are the people that are the poorest. They don't have good access to food, and many of them are likely dying earlier or getting diabetes or, facing health complications. And they can easily get a fast food at every turn, but they don't have access to real food. The food we've been eating for hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years over the human civilization. I found this funny because, I was trying to save money at the grocery store the other day, and I was like, okay, I only want to spend $10, and I want to buy, some meat, some cheese, and I want to buy a drink. And it's funny because I wanted a kombucha, and the kombucha was $4.50. This is pretty healthy. It's good for your gut. It has a lot of probiotics. It has a lot of good things in it that are good for your long-term health. And it was $4.50. That would have taken half my budget. Point is, I found a squirt, and it was 79 cents for that squirt. And this thing is packed with 80 milligrams of sugar and corn syrup and high fructose, all this stuff. And I just looked at this, and I'm like, if I didn't have a lot of money, I would literally buy 10 squirts for $10 instead of buying 2 kombuchas for $10, right? Because you get way more product. And it's just really is sad because the kombucha, the fresh pressed juices, all that stuff, it's way better for you. It's better for your health. It's better for your body, your longevity. It's better for all that. But at the end of the day, our system, if you don't have money, you're forced to make these decisions, or you're pressured into these decisions to eat the cheaper alternative or consume the cheaper alternative. So there is such a lack of information when it comes to the labels in our food. You can read the back of a box of crackers. You'll have no idea what half the stuff means. I mean, it's using all this complex jargon, and they actually say, if you can't pronounce it, if you can't pronounce the what's being on the label, that's, if you don't recognize it, it's probably not good for you, and it's probably made in the lab. But there is such a lack of information when it comes to the labels on our food. And furthermore, I don't think there's a lot of transparency. Like, you'll always see at the front of the label, hey, it's, zero trans fat, and it's no GMOs, and, it's MSG free. But then, it only highlights the pros. It doesn't highlight the 15 cons of that food. And it's just like this big sales gimmick, honestly. And this is where I'm going. We need more clear signs on the foods that are built in the lab versus organic. Because, for example, I bought some food, and I'll tell you this story deeper, but I bought some food at the store, and I was trying to be healthy. I just got the chicken, the corn, chicken pot pie, crustless. And, and it was a frozen food. I know, that's bad, but I got it. It looked really, really healthy. after I consumed it, I wasn't feeling too good in a couple days, but I noticed all the preservatives, all the ingredients, like on the front, it makes it look so wholesome. It makes it look like one of the healthiest things you can consume. But when you actually look at the label, it really it's this insidious thing where it's almost like you've been trapped, like you've made the wrong turn, and I hate that. I hate that about our food system, and I think we really need to give incentives to people trying to be organic and trying to do things wholesome and healthy, not subsidize big food, which is a pretty evil industry. Now, recently, guys, there was a listeria outbreak with over 10 million pounds of meat being impacted. This is crazy, guys, because our system, it's the year 2024. How are we having all these listeria outbreaks? And guys, that chicken pot pie I bought actually was part of that outbreak, and I consumed it. And I'm just so frustrated. Like, how can we get to this point? This is the most advanced we've ever been throughout time, and our food quality is going down. Our food's being poisoned through the preservatives, the cancer-causing carcinogens, but it's also literally not passing quality control, and they're finding listeria in it. Like, everything is so broken right now. I don't even know where, like, when I went to Mexico and I went to El Salvador and I went to Italy, there was none of these preservatives. There was none of this stuff that was fake. It was all real food. Why is it here in the richest country on earth, everything is fake? Why is that? Why is everything fake? It doesn't make any sense. And, I did feel lightheaded. I didn't feel great. I saw the doctor. They said you should be okay. Just make sure to, be healthy, consume your vitamins, etc. The point is, we shouldn't be facing this. Under this administration, it's been crazy. Like, all this stuff happening. Boar's Head, the meat company, some people got very, very sick from it as well. It's just ridiculous what we're going through right now. And Flaming Hot Cheetos, my fiance, she spoke to the nutritionist, and she noticed that there are a lot of very addictive chemicals and ingredients in these Cheetos. I don't know if you've ever had a bag, but you tend to finish it, right? I don't know what it is, but there's something they're putting in the food that is not healthy for you. And it's actually making you crave and want more. Whatever those addictive ingredients are, they're not natural. They're not, we don't know what they are, but they're not good for you. So I find this whole situation even more sad because every time I turn on the TV, I hear the Harris administration are talking about offering discounts on medicine rather than focusing on the root cause of the problem, which is the food, which is the health of our nation, which is trying to provide the best options to people, not trying to, get the cost of medication for diabetes down, but focusing on the root cause of diabetes. Why are we doing that? We're trying to treat, the effect, not the cause. We're trying to we're focusing on the wrong thing. We need to go to the root of the problem. We can't be solving the symptom. We need to solve the cause. And the cause is our food industry is corrupt. They're evil. They're trying to kill us slowly. And, it's funny because I was talking to my buddy about this the other day, and he was like, yeah, if the government were to give everyone a pill that would kill them tomorrow, nobody would take that pill. But if the government were to give everyone a pill that would slowly kill them over 10, 20, 30 years, and it would taste really good and feel good, many people would do it. That's the same thing with the food supply. People, it's this subtle and slow way of taking us down. And I really don't like the way our system is headed. And I think, Bitcoin can actually help us fix the fiat food system. And that's what this book is about too. How inflation destroyed our health and how Bitcoin can fix it. Because at the end of the day, Bitcoin may not be able to fix every single thing. It can't prevent you from getting murdered in the parking lot. But it can slowly change the incentive structures over time, and that in turn can help civilization as a whole. Now, I'll tell you this, guys, the food that we have, I'm just talking about Cheetos. I don't mean to throw them. I mean, I'm talking about Ruffles, anything, any type of potato chip. You know, it's heavily subsidized by our government. The corn industry, big corn, big food, with all these artificial fillers. There's deals being made behind closed doors that's making this food really bad for us. And there's a lot of self-interested people that are benefiting from this this issue. Now, I think we need more health conscious people. We need people going to the farmer's market, going to the healthy Trader Joe's. And I do think another thing where Bitcoin really helps is the community tends to be aware of all the outright problems of our food supply, because we're aware of also the problems with the money. And we're aware if there's problems with the money, there's downstream impacts on everything from housing to insurance to retail to food. Anything. It touches everything. But the point I'm trying to make is we need this revolution in food. We need this revolution in health, because we can't just slowly kill ourselves over the next 10, 20 years. We have one life, and we need to make the most out of that life, because at the end of the day, we owe it to our ancestors down the line to set the example and to do things right. Now, I want to quickly talk about changing the incentives. If we had harder money, we wouldn't be trying to hit these quarterly results, these quarterly earnings, to try to just pump things up with sugar and salt and fake ingredients and fillers. We would be using real ingredients, because we're focused on long-term value, not this artificial facade of a food. We're focused on meat, we're focused on substance, we're focused on the real core thing, not trying to optimize shareholder value due to the fiat system that we're operating in. Guys, I really, really want you to both pick up this book, Fiat Food by Matthew Lysiak, but also to really think about, where are you eating now where, it's not the best. Taco Bell, I'll tell you, that stuff, like a lot of that fast food, I don't know if you feel it sometimes. Sometimes you consume it and you get tired. I don't know what they're putting in the food, but it's not good. And we really need to stand up, speak up, and really try to lead by example. Anyways, guys, I'll leave it to you guys in the next one. This was great. Please click links below if you want to support me, and I'll catch you later.